Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a full review of the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers, which come in this packaging. Now, I went nuts during the Sephora sale and decided that in order to do a complete review of this, I wanted to try 4 different shades, mostly just because I was inspired by this photo on their app. They actually use a combination of a bunch of the different shades. So they have the bronzer kind of just like as a sculpting, then they've got some of that blush tones, and then they have the brightest shade acting as like a true highlight. And that is exactly what I wanted to do today or this week as we test out these products. All right, so packaging is like your standard beautiful Dior packaging. This is glass with like a metal top, and I believe, yes, so it does have a doe foot applicator. Now I am gonna go ahead and swatch all 4 shades of this. Pearly, which is a white, that is going to be a blinding highlight in my opinion. Pink, which is supposed to be like more of a luminous pink shade. We have Peachy, which is a blush peach shade, and this to me, so this actually screams a lot more warmth than these, so you can actually kind of see the reflection here. These are a lot more silver based, so this one definitely has a little bit more gold in it. And then last but not least, we have the bronze shade, which is supposed to be a blush bronze color, which like I have to say is also really, really stunning. I can't wait to apply this as a bronzer and see if it really kind of helps give me that like definition, but also like warmth. Like I'm excited to try all of this. I am going to do the best that I can to replicate that photo again where we've got the dots. I've technically never applied any of my complexion products like this before. Like I've never done all of the dots and then blended it out. So we're gonna try it on one side and see how it goes. And then if it goes well, we'll do it on the other side. But this is definitely an adventure for you and me. All right, so I like my bronzer a little bit more like high up on my face, not necessarily right underneath my cheekbone. And then what I'm gonna take is I'm actually gonna grab Peachy because I want my blush to be a little bit more of a warmer tone. And I just think that that's gonna give it to me more than the pink shade. So I'm gonna kind of go up here. All right, I'm not doing like as hefty dots. I'm doing like lighter dots with more dots than the photo. Okay, we'll take pink and we'll go kind of right on top of this, focused on more of like just the center part almost of my cheek. Not exactly the center, because like I never put blush on the apples of my cheeks. For me, it feels like it drags my face down, so that's just something that I do. And then we're gonna take Pearly, which is that like highlight shade, and we're going to go ahead and apply exactly where I would normally place my highlights. So not entirely the same as like the photo, but this is what we're gonna go with. All right, okay, let's go ahead and blend this out. I'm gonna try and do maybe like the bronzer first. Okay, this is actually blending out pretty easily, even though I've had the product sitting on my face for a little bit now. Okay, definitely blend it out very easy here. And then I'm just gonna kind of stipple this in. It's almost like creating like a blush cocktail, you know what I mean? Wow, this is like luminous to like, wow. I am noticing that right here just on top, that like pearly shade is not blending in super well. So I'm just gonna kind of keep pressing that into my skin. I actually hate how it looks right now. Everything else looks really beautiful, but I am not liking how this like white pearly shade is sitting on my skin. You know what? I'm gonna try tapping this in with my finger. It might need just some warmth. Okay, yeah, that's definitely better. The one thing that I'm gonna say though is I don't feel like I have that much pigment on my face. Like it doesn't, if I go from like left to right, I'm not exactly noticing like a huge change. So I kind of feel like some of the color disappeared. So I'm actually gonna apply a little bit more, particularly of the Peachy shade. I'm gonna go ham a little bit with this shade and really kind of pump up that like blush color. Now, admittedly, these are not liquid blushes. These are liquid luminizers. So I don't entirely expect them to hit the same as like a liquid blush, but the way that the marketing kind of looks, like it just looks like, you know, the impact is still like pretty significant. So, right, like she's looking hella blushy, right? Yeah, so that's what I want to get to. Could also just be the shades that I bought. Like, I don't know that I would expect the peachy tone to be like that impactful, but the bronze tone I definitely would, right? So I am gonna apply another layer of the bronzing shade just because I want to see if I can really amp that up. And okay, that has actually given me the impact that I want. Yeah, okay, now I can really see it. This is good. Hopefully you can also see it in the camera. I'm definitely able to see it in like real life. And that actually has blended in really nicely. You know what, guys? I'm not gonna lie to you. The bronze shade so far actually has been my favorite, along with the peachy shade. Like those two are really, really beautiful. I'm struggling a little bit more with the shades that are more like silver based. So that's really interesting. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and replicate on this side of my face. Okay, so right side of the face is done. And I have to say, like, okay, this is definitely giving me like a very luminous quality that I love. Like there's a reason why I was like, let me go buy a million shades of a liquid highlight, because like everybody knows I love highlight. So I am really, really liking how this looks. I am still, even on this side, I do not like the pearly shade. I am really struggling with getting that to just lay nicely on my skin without emphasizing any of that texture. So like if you are blessed with like beautiful textureless skin, maybe the pearly shade would look really great on you. I do want to try this out for the entire week and see if I can get it to work. Like maybe I have to use like a beauty sponge with it specifically. I don't know, I'm gonna go through all the different steps and see like if I can figure out the best way to wear this. But I will tell you guys right now, from like a very like first impressions perspective, I am quite impressed with the pink, peachy, and bronze shade. Like this is giving me a very, very nice impact. The other thing I was gonna say too is that it doesn't make my face feel tacky or anything like that. Like I'm just noticing, like as I'm kind of just tapping around the product, like it doesn't feel, yeah, it doesn't feel sticky or tacky on my face. There is, by the way, also like a slight scent to this. It's not offensive or anything like that, but it has like a very clean, almost like, it's almost like one of those, like, you know, the white flowers, like how it gives off like a really sweet but clean scent. Like that's kind of what this smells like to me. I'll see you guys at the end of the week with my final thoughts on the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers. Hey everyone, welcome back. It is now the end of the week, so let's go ahead and do my final thoughts. One of the things that I forgot to touch on in the first impressions part of this video was how this really looks and layers like on your skin. This is actually a really incredible product. I always get very nervous when we're talking about like glowiness, because I'm always like, I have very textured skin, so I get very nervous that like something is going to accentuate my pores. But there is something in like the entire Dior Forever line that literally does the opposite of showing your pores. It literally like erases them. It makes your skin look really smooth, and it also makes it look quite refined in a way. What I did today is I actually only have on a concealer, and so I literally only just have this product on top of bare skin because I wanted you to see what it looks like in its most natural state. And it's still really, really beautiful. So honestly, you cannot go wrong with the bronze shade. This is actually one of my favorites. I've been using this just as a liquid bronzer, and I really, really like it. I love the pink shade. I love the peachy shade. Like these three, I would recommend with literally no hesitation. Now, the shade that I am gonna hesitate on is the shade Pearly. This literally was so frustrating this week because you guys know, like, I love a shine that is like magical and like glittery and glimmery. Like I love a good highlighty highlight, and the shade of this literally gives you that. Like it's that highlight where you're like, you want to be gleaming to the stars and back. Like this is what you use. But from an application perspective, like this is just so hard to work with, and it doesn't even really blend out that well. Even when you're using like your fingers or a wet beauty sponge, like this is just something where you have to basically take your brush and like push and sweep that product on your skin. But by doing that, you run the risk of really moving whatever it is that's underneath that you're layering this on top of. Like you're gonna move that around. Like there's just no way to get around that. So this is one of those products where I really only like this on like bare skin, because I felt like in that way I wasn't disturbing anything else on my face. But that is not what good makeup really should be, right? Like good makeup should be something that could be layered on lots of other products, because that's the whole point of like putting on your makeup, is like there's different stages to everything that you do. So this was something that I definitely struggled with. This was really the only shade that I was like, probably a hard pass if I was going to recommend this to anybody. That pretty much completes this review on the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers. Would highly recommend checking out these three shades. Just leave the white one out of your shopping cart. So yes, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.